It can be morning, it can be afternoon, it could be night, it could be Sunday morning. Thank you for coming through. Let's see what we got. There we are. What's up? My timing is perfect. What's up? I like it when I come on and catch you just at the right time. Just got on. Just got on. Thank you. Thank you. Just got in the dough. Let me get this question up. You want a sports related question or do you want a political or music related? Which one you want? I'm gonna let you pick. Which one you want? Tell me. Music, sports, or politics? Which question you want related today? I got three of them. Okay, cool. Let me see. All right. You might like this one. And if you don't, oh well, because it was a question that I got coming tomorrow. I got inspired by the Odd Couple, and I decided to do my own take on it. So you're gonna see. You'll let me know. Okay. If the screen goes blank, don't leave because I'm doing is putting this live premiere out because you know YouTube, I can't always get it out. So don't move. Keep asking questions and keep talking. Don't leave. Okay, I got more coming. He okay. So yeah, he old now, but that's not the question. Could he have made it a sport that you would have dug more? I'm not asking about how he is now. And he could still play now if he could get it, but he chasing around them Trump sloppy thirds. But anyway, could he have made it happening with folks? That's all I want to know. It's a real simple question. So put yourself 20 years ago, right? You a teenager, you watching him on Sundays with the red shirt on and he's sizing up. If he had been more Tiger Leroy, would you have been more into golf? And would he have inspired more? That's all it is. It's pretty simple because I just want to know, could he have done more for you? What's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? Thank you for coming through. Glad to see anybody coming through tonight. Thank you. I want to make sure that people, it's a pretty simple question for them because I watched the Odd Couple and they had a question about it, and I thought, y'all beating around the bush. Y'all not really getting to the berries. Thank you for your response earlier to that one video, though, Ted. I forgot who did I light up on, but it was fun. There's some light ups coming. want to touch about LeBron last night. I saw that mess last night against the Rockets. Rockets didn't even play their starters. It's crazy. Okay, more people are coming in on the poll. Okay, good. Please hit the likes up. Take the poll question. Let me know what you think. The reason why I mentioned it this particular time is because it is the Masters, and there was a time this cat dominated it. Go back 6 years, he won it. Hard to believe. So we going yeah, we got some takes. So anyway, let's get some conversation going. Don't be shy now. Let's see what we're talking about. Feel free to, I'm on here. As long as we got something lively, we're gonna be talking. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good day though. Hope you're having a good spring day. Hmm. Let me check out the scenes. All right. Feel free to come on now. We're here live, just kind of like circulating, but feel free. Yeah, I think he got bullied. That's what it sounds like. It was self defense. Sound like words were exchanged, and you know, I think he got bullied. I think he had enough. And I'm not condoning people, you know, taking out other folks. He said the way it read, he talked about how the other kid was trying to basically start something with him. And then there was the other guy on the football team, and they were trying to act like they were ganging up on him. Don't come at me asking me, do you have proof? Because I didn't deal with bullies. I've been in school. And it was like when people say stuff and then it cause action. Like no one does anything to the bully, and they know what's going on. Now, chances are that ain't the first rodeo. So it's just that it builds up. It's enough tension. It builds up, and then eventually, boom. So they don't have to touch him in any way. They have to threaten him, which is, you know, mano a mano. What's happening? How you doing? I'm feeling that. Thank you for coming through. If somebody threatens to beat you up, harm you, you might resort to things. If you never had anyone ever try to like threaten you, so they gonna get you, then you lived a carefree lifestyle. I lived in neighborhoods where people was trying to take your milk money, your lunch money. They was trying to do harm to you. And what is you going on about? Are you up here trolling? You don't like what I'm saying, so you feel like you got to be a James Brown record and beat a dead horse. I'll let it come to the courts. But I believe the young man, and I'm gonna leave it at that. Because if you never had to deal with people bullying you, then of course you're not gonna see the other side. This kid was also happened to be a pretty much a straight A student, so why would he risk his honors in jeopardy? The one guy was a jock, and the one was a student. Sounds pretty cliche and typical to me. Happens a lot. Anyway, Dakota Miller, thank you for coming through. It is getting nice. See how long it holds up though. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. People say stuff, and the neighborhoods people choose not to have the cameras on them where they are to conceal their identity. It happens in 2025. But if you don't live and you ain't never experienced it, then you ain't gonna understand it. But it still happens, and that's all I can say. Anyway, keep on hitting the like and hitting the poll too. Feel free. Wonder what Tid went. Where everybody go? Somebody come around now wants to talk. Feel free. I gotta. Okay. Yeah, it's gotten quiet in here again, so you will see what we have. If people want to come and talk, feel free. If not, I will depart in about 15 minutes. I just want to make sure that I'm not, you know, I'm here live in color and just waiting on conversation. That's funny. I know where you're going with that, Dakota, and I'm kind of like wondering if it's trolling because you know if I gotta explain how these things work, you know, kind of like if a woman has been in a situation with a man that she didn't ask for, and then they wonder what happens. Well, just because you don't have physical proof doesn't mean it didn't happen. So some people assuming stuff. Anyway, we shall see. Hmm. Okay, we'll see what we're working with. Hopefully, if people come back through, I'll give it about another 10 minutes if I don't see any rapport. I assume people are doing things on a Saturday, Palm Saturday. Hmm. Okay. We're gonna head down for 10 minutes. We're gonna see if anybody comes through, and if we get any action, we'll keep it going. If not, we'll conclude in 10. Just gonna wait. Some days it be busy, some days it don't. We never know. Just asking to keep punching poll question. Hit the like. Not to me. Not to me. They seem like they're a step off from where they were last year. That's a great question too, Dakota. They what's up? How you doing? They seem like they're a step off. You would think the way Rick Carlisle cost them 2 games against Boston, they'd be a little more hungrier. And then I thought about the way they lost that game to the Lakers at the end with LeBron putting that ball back on, even though that looked like a clock had expired. Something's off with them. I'm not sold on them because I don't think they can beat Cleveland or Boston. I think they were better equipped a year ago. But it's a good question to ask, though. Um, in spurts, not enough to watch it, unless somebody I like watching is playing. I watched it many a time, especially when Tiger was big, and I used to watch with Jack Nicholson, Tom Watson, on a Palmer. That's a very humbling game because if you hit that bogey, you can hit that water. Well, I like some of the teams. Some of the players are good. So yeah, it's a lot of fun though. A lot of fun. Mhm. Anyway, please like, subscribe, hit the poll question. Also, keep coming in and keep asking questions. So we'll just sit here and chill for a few minutes. If we get enough questions, I'll make it longer. If not, I'll might cut it because it's not a lot going on right now. Reggie would have been because he didn't have to go through double screens. It's a different era right here. Shoot. But again, it depends on who he playing with. When you say that, depends on you. What's happening? How you doing? Welcome aboard. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good to see you. You came right on time. Now I'll definitely talk for 30 more minutes now that I know you're here. So feel free. Reggie would be good. Probably about 3 or 4 point bump up. in that poll, hit the like, and let's get some comments going. Okay. Come on now for free to talk, and let's get some conversation. Um, they lost in the second round to Seattle. They got swept 4-0 third year. Um, Drexel was on his last leg. He came to Houston, got him just in time. Um, we fast forward to Olajuwon was older. He had been to a finals '86, so Olajuwon had been to three finals. And sometimes you happen to be in the right place, right time. There's really, they weren't what you call a special team in the sense that they didn't have like a sliver of all stars, but they had a team that played cohesive basketball. They bought into what Rudy Tomjanovich said, and they did good. You know, they got two strong runs out of them. Utah had runs out of them and just didn't finish up. So I hope that helps answer your question. Houston was not a contending team, so they got high at the right time. Sometimes it be like that, you know, catch fire at the right time. Hmm. So that's why. So you gotta have the right talent, the right coach, and the right temperament. There's a lot of factors involved, and they got two rings out of it. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's one of those things that they had a team that peaked and hit at the right time. You know, they weren't as deep as Utah was or Seattle for that matter, but they went and got it done. That's all. A lot of teams they didn't think it was Jordan, so it was just other factors. Timing was everything. So I never know what they're gonna say. are live and feel free to comment. Just waiting for something. Anyway, let's get some more questions in here. I'll see if I got any more coming. Hmm. Anyway, okay. Okay, I'll be on for 5 more minutes. I was hoping that we'd get a little more action tonight, but I understand it's Saturday night. Okay. We just in chill mode right now. So we got 5 more minutes. But that's a hint, hint. If you want to come on and say something, speak now, forever hold your peace. I'll probably come back tomorrow, but it has to get more. What's up? Thank you for coming on. I was just about ready to bounce because nobody was saying nothing. They got really quiet in home. So at least maybe you can give me 25 more minutes or something to talk about. I welcome it, and that's part of having a live stream where we get into it. So, what's up, Jay Will? So let's get into it. Oh, okay. Going to Atlantic City. Okay. Enjoy yourself. Oh, cool. I've been to Atlantic City in aliens. Enjoy yourself. Yeah, I heard of him. I heard of him. Are they fighting at one of them old Trump casinos? I remember that was all the rage. 60% saying yes on the poll. That's a video that I'm gonna do. Thank you. No. Nice try, Danny. Nice try. If Kevin Durant has another year like he just had this past year, he might fall in Scottie Pippen territory. Nice try though, Danny. That's funny. Steph then left him in the win after 2022. And got Jokic has another ring. What's that's gonna happen to KD? He's gonna finish behind Jokic and Giannis as it is now. If his career is the end, he better retire now. I'm gonna look that one up. I'm gonna do a video about that. Danny Green now some kind of expert. Hmm. Now that's them. They're not me. He should have been. It could have been, but it ain't gonna happen. Not by me. He won't. The Brooklyn situation, the Phoenix situation, is pushing him towards number 30 when he should have been pushing towards 10. They're basing that on the points. Yeah, I got him top 20. If he did that with Dirk Nowitzki, he'd be top 5 because Dirk scored 30 plus thousand points and took nobody's pretty much or has been on the team and won a chip and went against a hard run. When has KD went against a hard run? I can't even really talk about him no more because he didn't stunk it up so bad this year. This choke, this embarrassment is on his resume. So what am I supposed to do with 24, 2025 when Phoenix stunk it up? Don't even make the play in. You gonna say he's up there? Dirk's out. Dirk's in my 20s. I can't, but I got more respect for him though. The way he handled Miami, the way he handled that season, I got a lot of respect for him. KD had Dirk's problems. He'd be a scary player. Been on mad. Mm-hmm. Dirk's high on this. I think Kevin Durant then fell off and he don't even realize it. He's in that Delulu. Nope. So what time you going to the fight? Nope. How? Because Curry can shoot that thing from any spot on the court. Can dunk. Can got an underrated left to your take. No. If Durant could score like Curry and was consistent, had team leadership, we'd be talking about him as a top 5 or 6 player ever. But that's too much for the budget. It's called personality. You love to not like him because he's that talented, and yet he doesn't really have any love for the game. It doesn't feel authentic. It feels like a guy that goes through the motions, who is scary skilled, but you can't root for him. You can't root at that peak. Karl Malone, he was a double double. It was just him and Stockton and Hornacek. He didn't get to run from Steph and Clay and Draymond, then run from Russell, then run Cleveland. Hot take. You think that's a hot take? I don't think it's a hot take. I think that if we look at what Karl Malone was able to do and maintain, he took better care of himself. He definitely aged better than KD. How's a hot take? Yeah, but he did get hurt, and he left, and that was the end of that. It was great, but he didn't finish it, so we will not know. He wins there. See, first of all, he stays in Golden State. You're gonna have arguments about him. Then it's go him against Steph, him against LeBron, him against Kawhi, because he fit his match. He got his ultimate situation, and he thought, no, it's too easy, and he ran from it. He wins one ring there, and then they win two or three original things. The guy would be considered, yeah, but it didn't happen, and that's the reality. And he ain't been the same since he left Golden State. He was a pinky toe from beating Giannis. Didn't happen in Brooklyn. Then he goes to Phoenix, and he didn't turn to a grumpy old man. That's all. That's all they wrote. Hmm. Okay. We just listening, waiting on people to come through. I'm gonna sit here just a while longer. I don't know what happened tonight. I had it was like last night, and then people came and went. So yeah, nothing really. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool. Well, they didn't count it when Will Chamberlain played, so I can't really count it. I don't know. If all things were being fair and equal, I know Will Chamberlain did that too. Um, it's a great accomplishment, but until his team wins another championship, I'm not impressed. He's got to be past the stage of individual accolades. He's got to be at a stage where he's trying to bring home chips. That's what it's about. We know he can play, and we know he, in totality. Now we're waiting to see what he does in terms of the accolades. You know, it's clearly his year in that regard. But his team hasn't won, so you got to win. And if you're not winning, you stat padding. So he can make amends for it in the postseason. But mean, she don't get knocked out in the first round. But play their best basketball. Cause that's what I'm gonna remember. You can hit me with all the stats you want. You got two more rings. What's up? Okay. How you doing? How you doing? Having a good day. I think he would have. Cause he put his mind to anything he wanted, he could got it. Chamberlain was a rare species, yo. That's why he was. No, you didn't ask me that question before. It depends on what style. Mm. Depends on who we talking about. Who's underrated? I think don't start. Basketball. The Sport Page got a great. By the way, check out his site on YouTube. Got a great, not very detailed. Takes you back. Very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. I read. I'm gonna share some, but some. Mhm. Anyway, it's gotten kind of quiet again, so it's not too far fetched. Not too far fetched. I mean, he played great defense against LeBron. The Spurs were in contention to be a legit team. He's one of the few guys that I can honestly say that could defend LeBron and Curry and Durant and still hold his own. He could hold his own both sides against all three. Um, I hold Kawhi in high regard if he's healthy. If he's healthy and motivated, yeah. I don't think he was fearful. Okay. Not much. How you doing? How you feeling? I'm just waiting for people to give me some conversation because it got quiet and I'm waiting on conversation. That's all. I answered Jay Will's question and whatever you want to talk about, feel free. As long as you talking, because you know my thing. Day's going good. Got out just a walk. Okay, let me answer. Well, I think he had a chance to make a statement. I really do. There's a lot of that going on, Charlene. A lot of that. Because independence and mindset, and they don't want to deal with, it's a different ball game. It's very more common now. Yeah, they got a good chance. They play defense. They quick. Cade Cunningham is gonna be a problem. So that could go either way. Yeah, it's on my situation tomorrow though. If you are a member of my page, you can sneak a peek. That's on my members get it for easy early access. So it's coming out tomorrow. Well, I went and talked about it because I was watching the podcast, The Eye Couple, and that's what inspired it. And I thought, you know what? I want to get this thing a more organic touch because I do think he could have done more. And people did allude to things he's gone out of his way. Okay. We got the poll is definitely taking off. Thank you. Pretty close though. I think he could have done more though. I loved it because he was different. He got on that course and he was hitting that ball like it was nobody's business. No one played like him. He made me watch on Sundays. He used to have pickup games. I'll be playing. I said, look, I'll watch Tiger. He was must see TV. He fist pumped. He really made it a sport. He took it to another level. And no one's going to touch that. And of course, it's a big thing because um, he could. He was articulate. I caught him when he was still very competitive because him and Phil used to talk that talk. And then VJ sing too. Sergio. No. The economics out here are bad. The economy sucks. And if you can go home and you can pay a little money at home and you don't have to put yourself out to something, then there's nothing wrong with it. No. It costs a lot of money to live. Food, electric, car, phone, go through all that. Just if you can, stay home if you could. Yeah, I did. I did a video about it. I said it because there's a lack of professionalism and decorum. I got a video out. I talked about it. David Stern made sure Cash was wearing suits and stuff. I just think that you need to have a certain type of, decorum and a professionalism. They don't look like they're professional at all. Yeah, I was gonna talk about that. At first, but then I saw it and I thought he is flexing, and there is a lack of balance with that. He sure did. Serena Williams too. Don't forget about Serena and Venus. Don't forget about Michael Phelps. Derek Jeter too. Yeah, because when you're in a certain demographic, you want to make your thing look like you're professional, act like you've been there before. You don't ain't gotta dress to the nines, but you gotta have some style, some pizzazz. Cause they're gonna come at you like, oh, here you come. it's a different thing now, you know. It is part of what you are, but that's thing, like I said, it's been slacking. So there's definitely a slack. Pretty much because you clean head, clean threads, and you're clean. You know, if you got a meticulous pops, that's not going to end well. Well, you know, this is the thing. I always loved tennis, and golf wasn't something I watched at it kinda, but Tiger made me watch it. I really watched it because of him. I'm not gonna even lie, and his dominance got my attention. So I was like, okay, wow, herself. Because the truth is when she and Venus stopped playing against each other and she started winning more, her life and her injuries was pretty much what was it. I mean, when you win 23 major championships and you're that dominant as she was, you are your only really rival. No one is in your rear view mirror. And that's not to sound arrogant, but who was going to get in her way? Because when she got going and cooking, she cooked so many people off. It was crazy. Didn't completely just like run Venus out, but it changed. Let's just say it changed. So basically, when you're great and you're chasing history, you're competing against yourself. You are your own rival. That's not smug or arrogance. That's facts in that because you're at a point where you're beyond your competition because you're winning at a level that only certain people can relate to. No, you think I should? Because all my stuff's freestyle off my head when I do this stuff. I write I write on like WordPress and stuff like that, but I don't write out like yeah, but it didn't last long. Well, give me a place that you think I should, I would do. In my past life, I used to write for a paper. That's a long time ago, but I haven't done nothing on this side except just do videos and I do write poems and stuff like that, but nothing that Fair Report had a good career, but nothing like Serena. It's compared to looking at that. Thank you very much. Well, it's because again, it's a product of the way I grew up. Watched a little bit different things and was into a lot of different things. So a lot of topics. We're not limited by no stretch. So that's all. And if you watch stuff and you read stuff, then that's what happens. Appreciate them. Well, some people may make a strong case for Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, it can be subjective. I think that because of what he did at such a young age, that he broke so many racial barriers, that he inspired so many different, in an era which was unattainable. That's one of the things. So, mm. So that's all I'm gonna say about that. He changed the course of popular music twice, so it's hard not to put him in that slot. He dominant and left a lasting impression. And the thing about it is, if you didn't like him, you had to go for someone that you liked because you knew he was there, and he always is compared. So that's the most dominant artist. That's dominance in itself. Because I know people who don't like him, and if they Prince fans, they can't wait to talk about Michael Jackson. It's never the other way around. He is such a standard that he definitely sets it off for people. And I'm not getting into no Stan Wars or nothing like that because I think they both were great. And I think that they both left a lasting impact, and you can debate and all that. That's fine. But I know that I'm going to say Michael Jackson for me gets the edge because he was such a standard that you had to acknowledge him. He made you look. Reggie Miller, that's not even for discussion. Dame ain't never had Reggie Miller moments. Reggie been to a finals. Playing tournament don't not playing tournament. What in season horse race hacky sack that don't count. Reggie Miller then had more important moments. He set a standard. He set a standard. And if you were alive to see him in his peak in his prime, you are gonna look at anybody who runs at you and says Usher and Chris Brown and try to say them in the same sentence with him. You're gonna look at them sideways, cross-eyed, and crazy. And they know better than that too. They know better than that. If you're under 25 and don't know no better, I can't hold it against you. Okay. But if you're 40 and older, you know better. And there's very few people of a certain age that's going to come at you about Breezy and Usher being touchy Michael. Well, Curry can do all that. And Clay is the only cat I know who didn't need but like one or two dribbles and just bust your cakes. So it depends on who we're talking about. I think run off of screens makes you more dangerous. That's what Jordan and Pippen did in the triangle. They're more dangerous. They're gonna run and say Mariah Carey. They're gonna run and say Beyonce. They might throw it because they had hits and they had a big run. That's the only thing they can kind of throw at you. But they're not touching Whitney. No, she just Whitney just had them voices. She just had an aura about her. There's no comparison for me. Some of that stuff was kind of lightweight, but because she was such a strong vocalist, she made that thing sound good. So I am not going to entertain anyone dissing Whitney. Break it down. I have no problem when you have stats, but don't get mad when I bring facts. There's a difference. Facts and opinions. We're gonna see what's up. Oh God, that's not a stat. That's corny. Oh yeah, and because he gets the, you know why? Because they bring him out for like 2 minutes of garbage time, and he's unguarded, and he shoots like a token shot. Oh wow, thought you had something that was interesting. Some turkey that's averaging what 1.8. Oh wow. I watch how they bring him out too, cause JJ Ridiculous hasn't come out when it's like less than 2 minutes. Garbage times, and he makes one freakish spin move, and then he makes a shot. And that's his token contribution for the night. It's so absurd. That's funny. Thought you had to see it. This was his April Fool's Day. Let me check my calendar. That's April Fool's Day revisit. Billy Goat. You know that cat sucks, but you tell yourself what you want to hear. You know he sucks though. We all know he sucks. He ain't got no business playing. We know he ain't got no business playing on that level. But they got to, because his daddy come to work with your daddy. I ain't Stephen A. Smith. So LeBron James was getting my face. I said, yeah, he sucks, yo. You embarrassing. You taking up a roster spot. Y'all might have fooled around and gotten second place in the West if you had a legit player. I don't think Michael Jordan is losing any sleep about Bronny James having a statistical category, which no one is going to care about. Because when LeBron James ever retires, if he ever retires, where do you think Bronny's going to be at? Do you think he'll have half the career that Lonzo Ball's got? Think about it. When he have half the career of Seth Curry, think about it. Hmm. I don't think so. Okay. Let's get some questions going. You got to come up better than that, though. Bronny James stats. That's a slow night. They better. They better. They better. Because if they don't do something, Jokic is going to make a move. And the NBA going to want him to make a move. They should be. They should be. See, it's embarrassing. A guy to play that great and they better. See, I like Jamal too, but he got to bring it. they got a good enough team. They should be a problem. You know, so we'll see. There may be a couple of surprises though. Don't be surprised. And don't ask me what I know, what I think I know. I don't think that the West is that deep, and I think that there's some teams could be had that's got some people fooled. And I'm gonna leave it at that. You might see something. I was accurate last year. Last year I said all the old men were going to sit down, and they pretty much did. LeBron got knocked out in the first round. Um, Kawhi didn't make it. Harden didn't make it. Paul George, Kevin Durant knocked out. So we'll see. Appreciate you for coming through. I'll probably try to come tomorrow. Pretty sure I'll probably try to come tomorrow. I hope I give a little bit more live reaction. Hope you have enjoyed the fight. Let me know what you think. Hope it's a good fight. Hope it's worth the trip. Cause that ain't that far, but that's a long way if it stinks. So stay safe, stay up. Appreciate you. Okay. We'll probably be on for a couple more minutes. I don't see nobody coming through. We definitely got a good poll. 50%. So 50% say Tiger, 50% say Nay. So okay. Appreciate everybody that's come through and has definitely spoke up. I will definitely be back tomorrow. Just waiting to see if anybody's got anything they want to say. So anyway, okay. We'll give it a couple more minutes. Then I will. Got real quiet, so see where we go on with this. Anyway, trying to hang on for a couple more minutes. Got some videos I gotta do, so we're gonna definitely address some things out here, and then we'll come another time. So, of course, I appreciate everybody that came through. Take the vote, and hopefully we'll get more interaction. And I hope everybody's coming through, doing their thing, having a good Saturday. We were almost, what's the date? The 12th? Wow. April be chugging long. It be moving, don't it? April's a fast month. Feels good. Fresh month. Put this thing on real quick. The ones that are catching at the end, you're gonna catch me in some greenery. So the last minute. So those kind of days. So we're. Okay. I think now he's on here for hour and 20. So appreciate when it came through. Thank you for conversation, hitting the likes and the shares and everything. And as I always say, eventually this one will be on its own podcast, and you'll be able to catch it if you didn't catch it live. So anyway, stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. Appreciate you always coming through. And I'm out. Peace.